Okay, as a fan of BuzzFeed Unsolved, I wanted to do a quick video talking about the almost 70th episode retrospective that they did on the channel because, Unsolved had really blown up at this point. Shane and Ryan were, riding the wave of Unsolved that they've worked so hard to create. I mean, you had so many guests like the behind the scenes camera people who were on location with Shane and Ryan telling different stories of times where they felt maybe ghosts were indeed real, or maybe it's like, nah, I don't think they're real at all. But I think one of the highlights of the particular guest was Brent, who was the first co-host of the show with Ryan before Shane came along. Because I remember my first episode was the Roanoke episode, the Lost Colony. That was like season 3 episode 7. So when I did I watched the back catalog, the first 2 seasons, I'm like, wait, that isn't Shane. I don't think Shane, no, that's not Shane. Who's this guy? So yeah, after learning like, oh, okay, at first Shane wasn't on there, but then he was on there. All right. Because it felt like, Family Matters, like the first, episodes of the show, Steve Urkel wasn't a character. But then after Steve Urkel blew up, they actually went back and filmed new content. So technically Steve was, put in those older episodes he originally wasn't in, which is wild to think about. They didn't do that with Shane though. But either way, once Shane and Ryan did their thing, BuzzFeed couldn't be stopped. Now the question, that arises amongst some fans is like, if Shane never came aboard and Brent was still there, would the show have blown up the way it did? Well, we'll never know. But regardless, when Brent and Shane, I think the funny part is Brent made such a small appearance in the 70th, almost 70th episode. I think it came down to the fact that he and Brent and Shane had a moment where they really bonded, where they're both skeptics. They don't really believe in everything the way Ryan does. So it almost felt like they were clowning Ryan so badly, like, we got to get Brent out of here so we can move on to the next guest. It was just so great. It was so great. And I wish there was at least like one episode of BuzzFeed when it was just all 3 of them. I think that would have been pretty cool. Maybe Ryan wasn't for that because he knew he would be the butt of the joke. So yeah, I mean, he catches enough flack from Shane, but to have Shane and Brent together, nah, it wouldn't end up too well for him. But regardless, yeah, I love seeing the behind the scenes. Just the fact that we learn more about the people who accompany the Ghoul boys out on their journeys. And, the fans voted on like their top 5 episodes. I can't remember what they were. I know Jack the Ripper is one of them. And if I remember correctly, Jack the Ripper is one of my top 10, episodes of Unsolved True Crime. So spoiler alert if you haven't watched my video on that yet, or unless I haven't posted that video yet as of the time of when I post this one. Who knows? Future me will figure it out later. But yeah, I love this because at the end, it definitely felt like a celebration. Like at the ending of an episode of Saturday Night Live where you would have like the celebrity guest and the musician, and basically everybody would come out on stage. And it felt like that. Everybody would come forward. I love how Shane and Ryan, like, yeah, everybody from behind the camera, the editors who make Unsolved possible, please come out there. And I just love, you had the balloons and the confetti and whatnot. It was just a good time had by all. And even though this particular episode didn't make it in my top 5 or top 10 list of BuzzFeed, this is a special, so I feel like it shouldn't count. This was a special celebrating how far the series had come up until that point. So I definitely felt like it was appropriate to do a video, short or long, just giving my thoughts on this particular episode, because it's definitely one to look back on and see how far the boys have come. I think one of the elements they talked about is like, yeah, if there was one thing I wish we can do more in Unsolved, is like show more of the journey, the aspect of getting from point A to point B to check out these allegedly haunted places. So with that being said, yeah, I mean, just thank God for the people behind BuzzFeed Unsolved who made it happen, because without them, BuzzFeed wouldn't be what it is. And the boys from there graduated and went to Watcher, and they're doing a thing there. So with that being said, what were your thoughts on the 70th episode, or almost 70th episode of Unsolved? And as always, I'll leave a link to the video in the comment section below so you could go check it out for yourself. And yeah, if you're a fan of the two, Shane and Ryan, and you haven't rewatched this special in a while, I say go back, just go back and watch it, and you'll probably smile and have a few laughs because it definitely felt like a trip down memory lane. So like and subscribe this video, and subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one.